Here's a few Excel tips that you can use every day. Let's face it, resizing columns in Excel is a constant problem. Here we have a number of columns that need to be resized, and we're going to try to do it as quick as possible. The suggestion here is to select all of the columns, and you can do that in the top left corner. Just give that a click, everything goes gray, then come between any two column letters and double click. That will resize all of your columns so that they are the exact size that they need to be to display everything that is currently inside of them. So just zooming out a little bit so you can see that it did indeed work. And there you have it. Select all your columns, resize one of them, and you are done. Once you've gotten your spreadsheet set up properly, including the information you're tracking, the formulas, and even the page setup, just pop in here and show you. If it's all the way that it needs to be, and now what you need is to go ahead and set up the sheet for the next year, then you're going to want to use this trick. Just hold down the control key, drag the tab to the right, let go, and it creates an exact replica, formula, text, page setup, and all. You can, of course, adjust this as needed, replace the information with the current numbers, and you are all ready to go. And one of Excel's best productivity boosting tools is going to be the autofill. It works in so many different places. Let's take a look. First, there are known sequences that you can use to fill in a series. So if I take any day of the week or an abbreviation of the day of the week and drag the fill handle in either direction, of course, across your columns or down a column, in any direction, you're going to be able to fill in the series and save yourself some typing. We're also going to be able to do that with, like we said, the abbreviations. You can do this with the months of the year, the days of the week, and even the quarters of the year. Okay. You're also going to be able to do this with a little bit of effort with your numbers. If you use the fill handle on a single number, it will just repeat it. Okay. If you give it two numbers, it will differentiate the amount between, and as you drag the fill handle, it will continue that pattern, increasing, decreasing the same amount every time. With your dates, a little bit smarter than with the numbers. As you drag a date, it will go ahead and increase the day portion of the date. And if you want some other pattern, just give it two seed cells, two seed dates, and use the fill handle to drag, once again, in either direction to fill in that series. A little bit more with our autofill, you can use it with your formulas. So let's get a formula here that's going to calculate our gross pay, equal the hours times the rate. I get the initial answer, and that's great, but I need it for the rest of my employees as well. So you can do two things, especially when it comes to working down a column. You can either drag that fill handle and let Excel adjust the formulas for each row that it's copied to, or you can go ahead and double click the fill handle. This works when you're working down a column. So double click, and it will go ahead and copy that formula to the rest of the cells in that series. We also have autofill of text. This takes a little bit of work, but definitely worth it. In this case, what you want to do, if you want to repeat this term throughout this column, you're going to right click and drag that fill handle. And when you get the shortcut menu, just choose copy cells. It will fill in that pattern. If it's a little more random, then autofill is not going to help you too much, but there is another thing that you can do. Hold down the control key to select the various cells, type in what belongs in each of them, and then hold down the control key and press enter. Now, onto one of my favorite features within Excel, Flash Fill. Use this almost every day, and although there were some other tools in the past that did this sort of thing, Flash Fill certainly makes it easier and quicker. So in this scenario, we have a list of names. Unfortunately, the full name is in a cell, and we need to separate that out. One column for the last name, one column for the first name, so that we can do things like sort and filter. So I can go ahead and do my flash fill, and all you need to do is sort of let it know what it needs to do. So I'm going to type in the last name in one cell for the first employee, and then go ahead and do that for the next. And what you're going to start to see is Excel sort of shadows and takes on the assumption that you want to repeat this pattern for the rest of the employees, which is exactly what I want to do. I'm going to press the Enter key, and it does the filling in for me, hence the name Flash Fill. Quick Analysis is another great tool. After you've entered the information into a spreadsheet, before you do any of these things manually, you can go ahead and select what you've entered, and using the Quick Analysis icon in the bottom right, giving that a click, it really opens up the door to a couple of different directions you can go into. For example, there's formatting that you can apply. Usually it's like conditional formatting. As you hover over it, it'll show you what it will look like. And if you want to go ahead and apply it, you would just go ahead and click it. You can also go in the direction of adding a quick chart. So just click on the Charts tab here through the Quick Analysis pop-up, select the kind of chart you are interested in, give it a click, and there is your chart, right? Just click it, drag it, manipulate it as you need to. A couple of other things that you can do with this. Let's get rid of that for a sec. Also in the Quick Analysis, use it to get your totals in there. So on the Totals tab, you can add quickly a total row. And then also, if you'd like, if you just head back over to the Totals tab, look for that total column. Just give it a click and it will calculate that as well. So before you take your little schedule to the next level manually, check out your Quick Analysis. And that's it for Excel Quick Tips. Hope to see you again soon.